SISU 2022.
In the frozen wastelands of late-war Finland, a Tommy Korpi wanders with a pickaxe and a loyal dog, hunting gold while the world collapses around him. He is a silent, scarred veteran whose eyes have seen too much, yet whose spirit refuses to break. When his shovel strikes a glimmering vein, destiny finally answers his long suffering with a fortune. Carefully he fills his saddlebags, planning to ride toward civilization and trade dust for peace. But the roads are ruled by Nazis, and peace is never granted freely in this broken land. As Tommy rides across the barren tundra, a ruthless Nazi patrol led by the cruel Bruno Heldorf blocks his path. Their trucks and tanks snarl like metal beasts, and their soldiers sneer at the lonely prospector. When they discover his gold, greed lights their eyes brighter than any fire. They beat him, steal his horse, and leave him for dead, believing no one could survive such punishment. Yet Tommy's legendary grit, known as SISU, burns within him. Rising from the snow, he retrieves a hidden knife and prepares to reclaim what was stolen with relentless fury. Heldorf's men soon realize their mistake when explosions rip through their convoy and bodies fall in the snow. Tommy stalks them like a ghost, using mines, traps, and brutal efficiency to thin their ranks. Each strike is precise, fueled by years of survival and wartime experience. The Nazis whisper his name in terror, convinced they are being hunted by something supernatural. Meanwhile, Tommy presses forward, driven not by revenge alone but by an unbreakable will to survive. His gold represents freedom, and he will not let tyrants claim it. Every step he takes leaves another enemy behind, lifeless and forgotten. The chase grows deadlier as Heldorf captures several Finnish women forced into service by the Nazis, using them as shields against Tommy's attacks. Despite the danger, Tommy risks everything to help them escape, proving that beneath his hardened exterior still beats a humane heart. His actions inspire the women, who begin to fight back in their own ways, sabotaging their captors and creating chaos within the Nazi ranks. The snow-stained red becomes a battlefield where courage and cruelty clash. Tommy's quiet determination contrasts sharply with Heldorf's screaming rage, revealing who truly holds the power in this frozen war zone. Eventually Tommy is captured and tortured, bound to a post with a noose around his neck while Heldorf gloats over his supposed victory. But even here, Tommy refuses to die. With incredible resolve, he escapes once again, using sheer endurance to survive hanging and return to the fight. His survival feels almost mythic, as if the land itself refuses to let him fall. The Nazis grow more desperate, their fear now outweighing their greed. Tommy becomes an unstoppable force, a symbol of resistance against the brutality of war, reminding everyone that true strength lies not in weapons, but in unwavering spirit. The final pursuit leads across mines, burning wreckage, and icy rivers as Tommy relentlessly closes in on Heldorf. One by one, the Nazi soldiers meet violent ends, their technology and numbers meaningless against Tommy's cunning. Heldorf himself tries to flee, clutching the stolen gold as if it might save him. Yet greed only weighs him down, slowing his escape while Tommy moves with the focus of a man who has nothing left to lose. Each confrontation strips away Heldorf's arrogance, revealing a coward beneath the uniform. The war that once empowered him now becomes his grave, carved by the man he underestimated. Tommy finally corners Heldorf in a brutal showdown, where fists, knives, and roar will collide. The Nazi officer begs, then threatens, then tries to bargain, but none of it matters. Tommy has heard enough lies in his lifetime. With a final act of decisive violence, he ends Heldorf's reign of terror, reclaiming both his gold and his dignity. The silence that follows feels heavier than any explosion, as if the land itself is catching its breath. Around him lie the remnants of a defeated enemy, scattered across the snow like broken symbols of a fallen ideology. Tommy stands alone, victorious yet weary, ready to move forward. After the bloodshed, Tommy helps the surviving women reach safety, ensuring they have a chance to rebuild their lives beyond the horrors they endured. His kindness is quiet but profound, a reminder that even in the darkest times, compassion can survive. With his saddlebags full of gold once more, he turns toward civilization, riding through the scarred landscape toward a new beginning. The war may be ending, but its shadows linger everywhere. Still, Tommy rides with purpose, guided by the promise of peace and the hard-earned knowledge that survival is an act of defiance. Each mile he travels feels like a step away from violence and closer to redemption. Along the way, Tommy encounters remnants of the war, abandoned vehicles and broken weapons, symbols of how human cruelty ultimately destroys itself. He passes them without slowing, focused only on the horizon ahead. The gold no longer represents just wealth, but proof that perseverance can triumph over oppression. In his silence, there is a deep understanding of what he has survived and what he has lost. Yet he keeps moving, because stopping would mean surrendering to the past. The open road stretches before him, filled with uncertainty but also hope. Tommy's journey becomes a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, forged in fire and ice alike. When Tommy finally reaches a small town, battered but unbroken, he exchanges his gold for a chance at a quieter life. The war behind him fades into memory, though its scars will always remain. He does not celebrate loudly or boast about his deeds, because true heroes rarely do. Instead, he sits with a simple meal, reflecting on how close he came to losing everything. SISU carried him through impossible odds, proving that stubborn courage can defeat even the most ruthless enemies. As the world slowly heals, Tommy finds a measure of peace, knowing he earned every moment of it through grit, sacrifice, and an unyielding will to survive.